Welcome back to episode 8 of the Iceberg series. Previously, the colonists have been struggling to deal with the constant threat of raiders, but they've at least somehow managed to thrive in between the chaos. Nog and Dragon got married, and they're expecting their first child. They've also managed to find another potential colonist to recruit, and they've been making solid progress on advancing their mechanoid technology. Let's hope they can continue this rate of progression and keeping everyone safe inside this iceberg. These visitors chose the worst time and direction to leave that they possibly could have. It looks like most of them did escape, but at least one of them stumbled into the mech cluster and woke them all up. Unfortunately, all the mechs are now heading straight to the hideout. We're gonna have to lead the mechs right to the first choke point. Good luck, everybody. Oh, oops, the door ended up closed. Someone has to be brave and open the door. Well, Nug definitely wasn't the best choice, but oh well. The first EMP went off and managed to stun every one of our friendly mechs and not a single one of the enemies. Nice. Really well done there. At least the Scyther's still blocking the door. Oh no, Russell. Be careful, little buddy. Ah, great. Nug has been caught on fire. That cannot possibly be good for the baby. Let's have our colonists flank around the corner. Hope things go a little bit better. At least most of the mechs have been stunned now. Hopefully we can burn down their health before they break free. Okay, all the most dangerous mechs are down. Now to just take out the last couple stragglers. Perfect, all the mechs are dead and everyone is safe. Let's get Nug tended up before anything bad happens to the baby. Now we need a couple of colonists to go out and deal with the rest of the cluster. Hopefully they can save the unstable power cell. Let's send Moss and Sarah. Brother and sister can handle the rest. Absolutely wonderful. The cluster's dead, and we got the unstable power cell and a shield core. That worked out really well. Not even 2 hours later, and another threat has arrived. It's manhunting polar bears again, and a lot of them. No, Wally. Wally didn't make it back in time. Poor little bot got shredded by the bears. We'll have to wait until they've gone. Then we can go out and bring Wally in and resurrect. In all the excitement, Nug has begun childbirth. Who knows, maybe she got scared into it. The first baby in the colony has been born. It's a boy. Congratulations to Dragon and Nug. Let's never tell the baby about how his parents' relationship started. We should name the baby Patrick. Patrick Pudge. What a name. It looks like a ship is crashing and it's called to request assistance. The reward they're offering is worth it, so let's grab this one and see what we can do about protecting them. They landed on the northern side of the iceberg, which is definitely not the easiest place to defend. At least there is a line of sight break from this giant old structure that no one has investigated yet. Between our colonists and the Imperial crew, we've managed to take them out quite quickly, sending the remaining tribals running for their lives. Pretty easy resources and a handful of honor. Not too bad. Sarah ended up receiving enough honor to become novice in the Empire. After the cleanup, let's call in the Imperials for the promotion ceremony. Before that, let's grab one of the tribals as a prisoner and try to get Bowman the kidney she needs. Well, scratch that idea. Before we could even finish cleaning up, another raid has arrived. Never a dull moment on the iceberg. Well, except all those dull moments, but aside from that, never a dull moment. This time it's the Kamisa Confederation, and they're attacking from 3 different angles. This ought to be fun. That is a lot of tribals. Well, no one opened any of the doors, so many of the tribals are just going for random walls. Let's send a mech out and try to open the way for them. They've already started to push towards the colonists. The first raider was in for a rude surprise as they came around the corner. So far the Scythers are successfully holding the door, that's good. Hang in there, little buddy. Well, just like that, the Scyther's down, and one of the walls is gone, giving a free path toward the colonists. Several of the archers have been firing from the door and are getting in way too many shots on the colonists. Sarah's taken a massive amount of damage already. We need to try to get our people in cover. The plan was to kill them quickly enough to brute force our way through, like the last couple of raids, but that definitely did not work out as well this time around. So many of our colonists have taken way too much damage. At least the first group is routed. Just a few more and the rest should as well. Alright, there we go. Thankfully, none of our people died or were permanently injured. Oh no. Before the day was out, another raid arrived. 3 of our 5 colonists are still badly injured. If we can't end this one quickly, then this might be the end for our people. Well, here they come. Good luck, everyone. The mechs are doing a fantastic job as a screen, stopping the raiders from making their way back to the colonists. Wow, they're routed already. Thankfully, because that could have been extremely bad. Okay, let's finally clean this massive mess up. This place is a disaster. As a lovely reward, we just finished converting Bowman, and we successfully recruited her right away. She's going to be incredibly helpful defending against these kind of raids. Welcome aboard, Bowman. Let's get you some winter clothing so you don't freeze to death. Oh, speaking of, Bowman is really in rough shape. She's got frostbite from her time as a prisoner, and now she's contracted an infection from it. I guess we needed that winter clothing a little bit sooner. Now that we're accumulating more and more unstable power cells, we're going to need a more permanent location to store them. Putting them all lined up in a hallway is going to end explosively, so let's figure out where we can wall them in. Actually, it looks like this hallway up by the penguins would be a good place. It's unlikely we'll need to expand up into this area, so we can carve out a small section for each power cell. First, let's run some conduit, then we can start mining. A good portion of the mess has been cleaned up, but far from all of it, and the damage to the front wall has yet to be repaired. And to make things even more difficult, another manhunting pack has arrived. And would you believe it? Yep, it's polar bears again. We have to finish repairing this wall before they make it to the iceberg, or we're in for some serious trouble. The door and wall were finished just in the nick of time. Unfortunately, now that we're stuck inside, it means that we can't haul all these corpses out of the base. So, in the meantime, we're going to have to store them in one of the more rarely used hallways. This one over here should work, for now. Well, it looks like Bowman is getting past her infections reasonably well. One of them's no danger, while the other is a bit more close. Hopefully we don't have to amputate. The polar bears have gone, and now we can start moving all these raider corpses out. Finally, we can get the rest of this mess from those raids cleaned up. We're really not getting a break at all. Just a minute to breathe would be nice, but that's not in the cards for our colonists. This time, a siege has set up on the southern bank. Let's get our mortars firing and stop them before they can shell the iceberg. Oh, great. They landed a shot directly on the solar panels and they're completely on fire. Well, at least we've managed to force the assault, but not before they landed another direct hit on the barracks. There's a lot of fire. We need to deal with that before they get here. Let's try to draw them back across the entrance and pick them off one at a time. Well, that strategy fell apart immediately, with Moss going down and Sarah not long after. With Sarah down, now all the mechs are offline. This is really not looking good. We've only got 4 colonists left in the fight. They're doing everything they can, but they've taken a lot of damage. We better drop that low shield or things are going to get a lot worse. At least the shield is keeping them safe for now. Thankfully, it only took taking out that last raider there and sent the rest running. That was getting a bit frightening for everyone involved. Let's go ahead and rescue Moss and Sarah and get them back safely inside. At least everyone is tended up and back on their feet. That wasn't great, but we got through it. We even managed to snatch a few pieces of marine armor from that last raid. That'll prove incredibly useful for the next few raids. Thankfully, not only is it good physical protection, but it also provides quite substantial cold protection. Hopefully it'll at least last long enough to finish researching and crafting our own. This is getting a bit ridiculous. The very next day, another mech cluster has landed on the ice. When will it end? For now, let's keep all of our colonists far away from this until we absolutely must deal with it. Until then, let's just try to ignore it. Meanwhile, all the unstable power cells have been moved into place and Bowman's bedroom has been completed. That's good at least. Let's take the opportunity to start improving the base while we can. Hopefully we don't immediately get another raid to interrupt things. We need more bedrooms to accommodate future colonists. And we also need to expand our power system. 4 solar panels, really not cutting it. We need a space where we can add several chem fuel generators. Actually, we can carve out a small section just north of those unstable power cells. You know, it might not be a great idea to concentrate power in a small area, but for now, let's just hope that it doesn't backfire later. Jeez, the raids have paused, but the problems haven't. The plague has struck again, and this time baby Patrick and Risa have both been infected. At least the baby will have very little trouble building immunity since they're just going to be resting the entire time. Risa, on the other hand, we're going to have to keep an eye on. Unfortunately, we don't have a ton of industrial medicine left, so we may have to start tapping into our Glitter World supply. A combat supplier has shown up and very well may be the answer to our current issue. They've brought 42 medicine for sale. We need to buy as much of that as we can. Since we can't use the shuttle engine, let's sell that and buy all of their medicine and a few components. Great trade, this worked out perfectly for us. Now the medicine issue is solved, so we can get on to curing this plague without having to use the really good stuff. Looks like the colonists have decided to throw a little party. And honestly, it's not a moment too soon. Their mood has been surprisingly good, given all that's been happening, but clearly they need to take the opportunity to take the edge off. Let's see what they've been chatting about during the party. Sarah told a joke about training baboons to dragon. How exactly does that kind of joke go? Was she referring to the rest of the colonists as baboons? Bowman chatted with Moss about fighting mouses. Wait. Fighting mice? How often have they been fighting mice? It's hard to believe many mice would be able to make their way out on this iceberg. Maybe it's memories from a previous life. Dragon and Nug have exchanged ideas about relationship between Ordo Historia and helping the poor. It's an interesting connection. The Ordo Historia is the central authority in maintaining the historical record of humanity. Maybe humans have become a bit better in recent years regarding helping the poor. Doubtful. That's the end of episode 8 of the Iceberg series. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for updates on all future videos. For those of you who made it all the way to the end, please consider checking out my Patreon to help support the creation of more videos like this one. You'll find the link in the description below. Thanks for watching, and see you for the next one.